Okay, did somebody second that motion?
I second that motion.
Oh, you did, okay. All right, so Mr. Perez, motion to approve the meeting minutes, and Mr.
Daly.
Mr. Daly, second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Is that a yes, Perez, for everybody?
Yep.
Okay. All righty, so we'll go ahead and move forward to LSC chair report. That would have been by Mr. Boyd. Mr. Boyd is not here, so we'll just go ahead and move forward to professional, personal. Oh, actually, no, wait. Oh yeah, PPLC, I'm sorry. So PPLC, Ms. Morehouse and Ms. Fern, do you guys have a report?
No report.
Okay. All right, so we'll go ahead and move forward to Sustainable Community School, Ms. Zamudio.
I don't know if she's here. So she's not here, but I can make that report for the SCS.
Okay.
With SCS, just wanted to make sure that the local school council knows, we received an additional grant through the 21st Century Community in Schools. So we got an additional $100,000 this year that we are on top of the SCS grant, right, for $400,000. So we are working alongside the PRCC to allocate that $100,000 into programming. Now that programming for the 21st Century is only allowed to be after school on the weekends. It has to be out of school time. So we are working to start a Saturday academy or Saturday programming. So it doesn't have to be academic, but it's going to be enrichment, arts, and academic. And so we're working to put a schedule together for that starting in the month of March. And that is the end of that report.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Perez. Does anybody have questions for Mr. Perez in reference to Sustainable Community Schools?
I just have a question of what the target number of students you want to serve is.
So they gave us a target number of hours. So we have to do, it's like 15 hours a week is what we have to do. So it's not so much target of students, but we're trying to target as many as possible, at least another 60. And so right now in our programming, we have about 80 that are in the SCS program.
Okay. Thank you for that. Any other questions for Mr. Perez? No? Okay. All righty, so we'll go ahead and move forward. And before I do go ahead and move forward, I did forget to set the meeting norms. So I'm just going to go ahead and just briefly set that. For the public participation, you do have, 2 or 3 minutes to go ahead and speak. One minute?
If we did 1 minute, 30 seconds is what we had said.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, sorry. All right. So just for public participation, just so that everybody is aware, it is 1 minute and 30 seconds. Be aware that any questions that you're asked during the meeting, they may not be answered. We'll probably go ahead and just, note it for the following meeting. And that's pretty much it. All right. So I'll go ahead. Okay, and then just keep in mind that that for the public, you will not be able to speak until it's the time for public participation. Okay, so I'll go ahead and move forward. Do we have anybody in first? Do I have to translate?
You can, or if you want me to, I
okay.
can.
So solamente para solo porque se me olvidó decir I don't know how to say meeting norms in Spanish.
Reglas.
Las reglas del meeting para las personas que están en el público que quieren hacer preguntas, solo para que todo el mundo sepa que las preguntas que hagan a lo mejor no pueden ser respondidas y no pueden ser respondidas. A lo mejor las respondemos en el próximo reunión y tienen 1 minuto con 30 segundos para hacer cualquier pregunta o un statement. All right, so I'll go ahead and move forward to student representative, which is Mr. Abney. Is he present? Did he log in late, maybe?
I don't see him online, so I don't think he's
No,
here.
I don't think he's present.
No? Okay. All righty. Thank you so much. So we'll go ahead and move forward to Parent Advisory Committee, Comité Asesor de Padres. I don't know her last name, but Miss Elizabeth, is she online?
La señora Rodriguez, I don't see her online.
Okay, so if she's not online, I'll go ahead and just kind of say a brief, because we did have a meeting this past Wednesday, it was Wednesday morning, was it last week, Wednesday morning? Wednesday morning, it was actually the best turnaround that we've had in a long time. I want to say we probably had like 15 parents maybe. We had a breakfast, we spoke about, we spoke about what can we do to help students. What else did we speak about? How do you call it?
So we spoke about ways that we can help students and get parents involved to really take a look at their students' grades and their progress on the computer, and then really took a look at the goals that every student needs to have before the end of the year. And I think that was really eye-opening, because we had some parents who didn't understand that, you know, if my child's in 8th grade and the teacher keeps telling me he's reading at a 5th grade level, what does that mean, and how do I help him? Because I need
Yes.
to. So that was really eye-opening, and so we are continuing to meet with parents and do that work. The next meeting we had said, and I totally forgot, Ms. Torres, what meeting we said. I know it's in February. I think it's the Wednesday
The
before.
15th,
Yeah,
15 and 9:30.
and then at that meeting, we're going to talk about is really talk. We're going to do a parent survey, because we didn't get to that at our last meeting, and we want to make sure that our parents know that like we're here and there are opportunities for them to get involved, because we're not going to be able to get any better without their help.
Yeah, and then we're also gonna go through Aspen just for parents how to log in, and just how to check their child's grades and what assignments they're missing. Like for example, I logged into Aspen and I noticed that my daughter was missing an assignment. So just kind of educate our parents how to log it into Aspen and just keep track. So it was actually a really, really good turnaround. Does anyone have any questions?
I was just curious on, it sounds like really good conversation and engagement. Just curious if there's thoughts on how to get more parents involved, just, kind of advertising these meetings and talking about all the great things that are coming out of it. I was just kind of curious your perspective on that.
So I think, so for I don't know if you guys can see me, I turned my camera on. You may not see
Yeah,
me.
I can see you.
All right. So I've been a parent at Yates for, over 12 years or so. So it's always been, I think the key that we want to work on is just educating parents. And if they have a question, because, what we noticed in this meeting was that a lot of parents didn't have answers to their questions. So for example, I know Mr. Perez passed on, the January letter that you sent out, Mr. Perez, your newsletter. Yeah, the newsletter. So in the newsletter, he had every grade there and where their child needed to be. So a lot of parents, surprisingly, they didn't know where their child needed to be, and then other parents, their questions were, so how do I get my child there? So just kind of help, and then we spoke about if my child is not, let's say it's not where they need to be, how many minutes do we set them down to read, or, what do we do? So it was actually pretty good. So it was educational. Perez did go ahead and walk through a lot of those. And then of course there were a lot of parents because they're like, oh, we should reward our child. Me, I am the type of parent that, yes, it's okay to reward your child, but they also need to know that this is their responsibility. So I do tell my daughter that school is your responsibility. Yes, you get rewarded, but just because, you're not always going to be rewarded. That's what I'm just trying to say. So, it was actually really, really good. This is the best meeting we've had so far.
Did the conversation extend at all to kind of student life, kind of behavior, sort of, social relationships, engagement with teachers and staff, or was it more just on the academics?
So we first talked about academics, and then it kind of morphed into what can I do at home? And then
Yeah.
and then it was like, so we talked about like sleeping patterns. We talked about healthy eating, making sure
Okay.
kids do all of those things, because these are the things that we notice in our school. You know, our educators notice our kids are hungry, they're not sleeping.
Yeah. Hard to study and learn when you're hungry.
And then
Right.
we talked about like, but we even talked about like some of our parents were like, but I put my kids to sleep. And then we asked the question, well, do they have a phone in their room? Do they have a tablet in their room? And then they were like, oh, yes, they do. And so then it was like, well, you need to take all those things out, right?
Yeah.
We also had a quick conversation with a parent who was like, but their phone, kind of invading their privacy. And then I was like, but you own the phone, right? You're in charge of it. You purchased it, and they need to follow those rules. And so, and then one of the parents even asked us to teach a lesson on how to essentially manage the phone from their phone.
Yeah.
Something else that we were looking into talking through, because I know that a lot of my teachers are parents, and they manage their children's phones, and they can turn it off at any time and turn the data off and do all those things.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I was just thinking about some of the conversations we've had in the past around sort of discipline and parent engagement, and just it really sounds impressive, sort of what was coming out of this, and I'm just want to make sure we're trying to keep that going, so it takes on
Yeah,
like its
I
own. It
think
sounds
that
great.
in our next meeting, like I told Mr. Perez, I think in our next meeting, just kind of speak, because so many questions, like they were all kind of the same question, just in different way. I think it's maybe just educating parents on like what resources they can reach for, or
Right.
like what resources, because they don't know what resources they have. So I think that the next meeting is just kind of pretty much just educating them. So like
Yeah,
was
where to
ask them.
channel their need
Yep.
for answers or for help or
Mhm.
for clarity, and the engagement that kind of builds the engagement we're looking for. So that sounds awesome.
Yeah. Also, if you guys know any apps that the parents can use to help their children, I mean, go ahead and email them. So that way on our next parent advisory meeting, we can go ahead and kind of let parents know what apps they can use to help their child, whether they're in first grade, second grade, for reading, for math. What I used to do before, which I am going to say in our next meeting, was I don't know, Five Below has, well, I don't know if they still have them, but I used to go every summer and kind of get their like first grade level books. So if my daughter was in first grade, I will get second grade and kind of like have her do that during the summer. So that's something that I'm going to bring up in our next meeting. But if there's apps, and now since everybody's using phones, if there's any apps that you guys may advise, go ahead and send an email with them. Okay, does anybody else have any other questions, comments, concern?
The question was, how do we involve more parents and regularly?
You know what? that robocall, the robocall and the text message, because one parent said when the question was asked by Mr. Perez, how did you get here? They were like, well, we got so many messages. So many messages, so many calls. So I think just keep doing the same thing, just kind of every single day, the call, the text, the email. And that's I don't know if that's what worked or if the breakfast worked. I don't know, but whatever we did this past, we're gonna go ahead and do it again.
Yeah, we also had a small performance by our chorus.
Yes, we did.
Our choir, that was amazing. And so that really helped. That also just really helped to solidify the programming that we have at the school too.
Mhm.
I don't think a lot of our parents knew we had that program, because we even had two parents ask me like, how can I sign my child up for that? Because that was amazing.
Mhm. Yeah, actually, I did forget about that. And that was actually really, really good.
Yeah, you could also ask the 15 parents to bring a new person to the next one.
Yeah, we did.
Oh,
we
perfect.
Did. Yeah, we did. We did.
Usually works for me.
I don't know, maybe in our next meeting, I think maybe do like a raffle. I want to say like still do that performance, but what I was telling Perez, what I noticed was that since it was like a low, up to what grade were there, Perez? What grade was that performing?
You mean the kids? So it's
students. That was what grade?
3rd through 5th.
So I know that parents came because they wanted to see their child perform. So I don't know, do something like that, but I don't know, to engage like the older students' parents to come in, maybe a raffle, and then maybe the breakfast again. Try to engage them somehow. If you guys have any ideas, shoot them.
I like the idea of like using the performance or some type of art fair or
Oh, that's actually really good.
something, you know, where can come and socialize and have snacks, look at their kids' work product. It usually gets people going.
Yeah. Well, I like that art fair.
Yeah. Just
I like that.
reason to get them together.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, or highlighting a certain program or something.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, that's actually a really good idea. Thank you so much for that.
No problem.
Alrighty, so for the sake of time, does anybody have any other questions? Or just something that you guys think that we should discuss at our next parent advisory committee?
When is the next meeting?
The 15th of February at 9:30.
So,
And are we able to attend? Or,
Ms. Morehouse, you ask that question every month, and so I answer with the same answer, right? The parent advisory committee is supposed to be for parents, and for them, it's to be a part of the school community. So if you're free during that time, you're more than welcome to attend. If you're in class, then obviously not.
yeah, oops, one time I got to attend. I'm not sure why, but all right.
Yeah, you did. I think you were free that day and you came. Okay. All righty. So we'll go ahead and move forward to principal's report.
So I sent out my written report. Just want to make sure everybody received it. Some things I want to highlight that are really going to affect our school coming up is we received a $15,000 grant from the Illinois Empower. So Illinois Empower is a grant that is given to the school for school improvement. We're not the only school. There are many schools that received it. And so that grant can only be used for what they call the CIWP, or the school improvement plan that's coming up, because we are in a school improvement plan year where we have to begin to plan for the next 3 years. So the instructional leadership team is tomorrow. We're going to be meeting tomorrow morning and really talking about when those planning meetings will happen. And then we'll be getting a committee together to then take a look at the CIWP. What the CIWP is changing this year, and I don't know what that means. They just sent out an email telling us, you know, be ready because it's changing. So we're waiting to hear back from CPS from that. That's probably why if you've taken your LSC trainings, we're missing that one. I think it's number 2 or number 3. That's the CIWP one that they haven't put out yet, because the whole CIWP process is changing. I do want to say our stairs were completed. I hope you guys saw those pictures. That was really, finally, we got our stairs completed. I was fortunate to do a walkthrough today with facilities management. And we still have lots of stuff to be fixed. And they know that, right? And so I'm keeping them on alert because I'm not letting it go, because if I don't continue to monitor it, then it will never get completed. And so some of the things that we have ongoing are, we have some leaks, especially the big leak in the cafeteria. That one really messed us up last week. Then we had issues with our bathroom door that we had to actually bust down the door because we had a student stuck inside. We had to get that refixed, and that was finally fixed last week as well. And so just kind of like the facilities part, which is kind of the bane of my existence right now, because the facilities, if you all don't know, it's not managed by me. So like I'm not really supposed to be in charge, and I'm not really supposed to be touching any of it. But if I don't get involved, then it turns into, well, the Yates can, Yates can wait, and we can't wait. So I'm kind of just on them and just kind of, I'm calling anybody who will listen. We started testing this week. We are starting our, what they call Star 360 testing. We finished, we're now finishing up our makeups. We have 3 more students to test by Friday, and then we'll be completed with that. And then we're going to be doing a deep dive into where we are. Our data is looking not bad, not too shabby. Like what I mean by that is we do have some growth, but not as much growth as I thought we were going to have. So we will be taking a look at some kind of immediate changes we're going to be making. The we have so if you guys don't remember, school was canceled. I'm sorry, in-person meetings were canceled December 23rd. So we had an in-person professional development for strategies on how to activate learning and continue to keep kids learning actively in the classroom by Kagan. So we rescheduled that for February 3rd. So that's happening. We did hire 2 new teachers, so we're really excited because they started right after Christmas break and they're doing really well in the middle school. We hired a science teacher and a social studies teacher, which helped relieve a lot of stress on our teachers who were filling in, like Miss Byrne and Miss Johnson and Mr. Whittles. And so thank you again to them for doing that, and Miss Laharde for filling in for 2 periods. I am proud to say that if you guys don't remember, when we first started this school year, we were at 250 kids, and we are now at 294. We are up, and that is so awesome. We are just getting students, and right after Christmas break, we think we enrolled like 6 students. So that was really great. And then another 2 came yesterday. So we are really on the up. We got to get some more students, and that's what we're doing. I have to tell you that I did ask the parents, why did you come to Yates? What are you hearing? And one of the parents said, I just Googled you, and your Google rating is really high. And so I have to say that that's really great. I didn't realize that, so I Googled us, and it is a 4. We're like the 3.9 out of 5, which is not bad. And so, and then she talked to parents, and parents were saying really great things about our school. So that is really great to hear. And so, and I'm really proud of that. Our attendance did go down a bit. We are working on attendance, and we are working hard. And so what I mean by that is we are giving weekly certificates to our students on their attendance achievements. And then we have competitions happening. We're going to be shooting. There's a thing called shooting for attendance, and we're talking about basketball shots. We will be shooting. They're going to be a staff versus student game for basketball in the next few weeks for those students who have 98% or better from the time we started up until the end of February. And we are looking for, we have open positions. So we are looking for a 1st grade teacher at this time. We're looking for a recess monitor, and we also are looking for another special education classroom assistant. If you remember, we had 3 positions. We hired 2. We still have 1 open. We're hoping to have that filled within the next few weeks. And then just kind of some housekeeping things. If you have not followed our social media, please be sure that you do so. We have an Instagram, a Twitter, and a Facebook. We do put out lots of information and our flyers and pictures of what we have going on every day at Yates on there. And yeah, I think that's really it on my side, unless anybody has questions on the report.
I was a little curious on sort of the mention of some of the facilities work and needing to get attention. Are there things that we as the LSC can be doing to make more noise, to get more attention? Or is it just a matter of being patient and waiting?
I mean, right now, I'm going to be honest with you, like, I think I have to tell you, I've been making a lot of noise. So it's the reason why things are happening. And I have the chief facility officer, like he's now in charge of the city. Like he's like, he's a really awesome man. He's been working with me and getting things done.
Okay.
So he's been helping us out a lot. So I think we're okay at that part right now.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I figured you were making a lot of noise. I just wanted to make sure if we can sort of be in the background or go another way, can write another letter. Or
so far we're good. Everything's getting worked on. It's just I personally think it's not getting done fast enough, and I'm like, what can I do? Like, give me some more vendors. Let me call them out. And but they assured me today that they would be done, and so I sent them a summary of our meeting today as well, just to make sure that we had everything down in writing as well.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, thank you, Perez. Does anybody have any other questions? No? Okay. All right. So since there are no more questions, we'll go ahead and move forward to new business. And then in new business, we have LSC student elections.
Yes. So this year we're going to be putting out a request for nominations for students. I didn't know that the LSC student representative is every year. So So we have to vote, the students have to choose a representative every year to join the LSC. So that will be happening within the next few weeks.
Okay. Alrighty, thank you. I didn't know either because that's something new for this year. All right, so then we'll go for any questions on the LSC student election? No? Okay.
What,
All right. So
oh, sorry, just a quick
No,
question.
go ahead.
Are the teachers in charge of getting people excited for the election?
I haven't even talked to them about it yet because I'm still reading the manual because there's a manual they sent me. But yeah, it'll essentially be by classroom. We're looking at, because it's only certain grades that can run. And so we're really looking at our student voice committee or student voice group to essentially be the catalyst for it, and then we'll go from there.
Thank you, that's helpful to know.
when it's done, do you know when that's taking place, the student election?
I know it's supposed to happen before May 1st. So
Before May 1st.
I'm still getting through the manual, so hopefully soon.
Okay. All righty, anybody has any other question? No, okay. All right, so we'll move forward to parent representative.
Yeah, I invited another parent up here, but she didn't come. I don't see her on our list here. So we're doing we need to fill our vacant positions, and then also really taking a look at the positions that we have to make sure that if those folks are not coming, that we do talk about a removal. Any discussion on that? Because I know, like, right now we have, well, Ms. Morehouse, I know if you want to, I think we're for attendance, when we're talking about attendance. Ms. Byrne, Ms. Torres.
Attendance. I think we'll have to look back at our meetings to see. Let me see how many parents. So besides me, is Mr. Boyd and Ms. Phillips, I believe. I'm looking at the agenda. Are those the two parents? Are there any other parents besides us?
No, I think
no, right?
two.
Okay, so I think so Ms.
Ms.
Phillips.
Say that again, Ms. Darling.
No, I was saying that I was a parent too.
Yeah, sorry, I apologize. Yes,
Yes,
Darling
I
is
do
here too.
apologize about that. I'm so sorry, Miss Darling. Yes, I don't know why I confused her with the teacher somehow. Okay, so Miss Phillips, how many meetings has she missed? Miss Morehouse, is that something that you're able to maybe take a guess on?
I have to look at the meeting notes.
And then
I'm looking at the meeting notes. She has missed the last three for sure.
Miss Phillips has missed the last three?
Yes.
Okay. So I mean, LSC handbook, if you miss 3 meetings in a row, I mean, it's either 3 meetings, it's 3 meetings in a row or 5 meetings within the calendar year. Then we can have a discussion whether, we keep them, we remove them. If that's a discussion we want to go ahead and have right now, we can, or if we want to table that and speak about it on the next meeting, it's up to you guys.
Can we not we, I don't know how I would get her phone number, but could somebody reach out to her to see why she hasn't been coming, and then let her know, like, the process would be that we would like to replace you if you aren't able to have this commitment now.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so then we can go ahead and table it then. We'll go ahead and we can look at the meetings and then see how many. So it's Miss.
I think
So
we need to.
Yes,
Miss Perkins. I think we need to look at the attendance for all the meetings because it's not just her. It's also Mr. Boyd who's missed several meetings as well at this point.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So
Yeah. I did miss the last 2. I do apologize for that.
Thank you.
You also have a baby. That one you are having a baby. So we were okay with that, and you let us know, so.
Yeah.
So should someone maybe take on and look and see what the attendance is? I can do that if need be.
I can
Yeah,
go back and look at the minutes and I can tally them up and send a note out to everybody tomorrow or tonight, if that's okay.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be good.
Then we have it all in one place.
Yeah, and then we can go ahead and just discuss it on our next meeting and then, go from there.
At the PAC meeting, did you talk about LSC and having parents? Yeah, okay, I assume so.
Yeah, we did actually. We did.
Okay.
I forgot. So it's
And then-
automatic up to you guys. We can either do like Miss I'm so sorry, Miss
Miss Starlin's on, and then Miss Phillips is not present.
yeah. If you guys wanna, I mean, it's automatically up to the council what you guys want to do. So go ahead and put your comments of how you guys want to move forward with it.
I would like to, before we remove anybody, have report card pickup be like, we have to do this before report card pickup, because I think that there might be a meeting that day or the day before or something around there in March. And let them know, like if someone can call them or communicate with them that that's the plan before report card pickup, and then report card pickup really push for like, hey, we're recruiting. We have a couple more meetings. It's only a couple more meetings before the end of the school year, and then into next, whatever it takes. And that way it's not just another vacancy for the sake of a vacancy.
I like that idea.
And then okay, so if we're going to figure out who we need to check in with, and you said, Mr. Daly, that you were going to do that.
Yeah, I'll do the tally of attendance so we can kind of see since inception.
And
I can
then
go through each meeting notes and send it out, but I think, we've already stated Ms. Phillips has missed 3.
and then we would reach out. Who would reach out then?
I can reach out if people give me phone numbers. I don't have any problem calling somebody, being like, yo, I miss you. We want your input.
Need your
Have
engagement.
you guys ever logged into the local school council dashboard? Because you guys do have access to that. It's at cps.edu/staff, and then it says local school council. And that on that dashboard is everybody's like contact information. So if you go, I think Snyder, you're on that now. I see you, check it. So if you take a look at the it says local school council, wait, and then you can log in there.
I didn't know I had this power. This is great. I can do that, and I can give them phone calls next week.
And I think it's more like, hey, obviously you've got a lot going on and, you're not able to commit to this, and that's fine, but we need more. And, not kind of like making it a big deal, but we just need to go in another direction.
Yeah, definitely. Like we want you, we value input. Come on through.
Yeah.
I
The PTA
I will
meetings.
commit to that next week, and I will look into this.
Yeah, and I'll send a note as soon as I can on kind of just the history, so you have like, like the story.
Okay. All right. So Mr. Daly, you're gonna go look at it. You're gonna look at attendance and send that to us, and then Ms. Snyder, you're gonna reach out to Ms. Phillips and Mr. Boyd.
Yes.
Okay, and then because Ms. Starling is here, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Perfect. That sounds good. All righty. So then we'll go ahead and move forward to in-person meetings. I know that was a big discussion the last time.
Sorry, I think
I believe Ms. Morehouse has a question.
Morehouse is trying to talk.
I'm sorry.
We can't hear you though, Ms. Morehouse. And your mic is unmuted. Do you want to type it in the chat? Okay.
Oh,
She said
she said
no,
no.
she's not gonna type it in the chat. Okay.
Did she have something to say, Miss Morehouse? Did you want her to say something? No? Okay. All right, so then we'll go ahead and speak about in-person meetings. Perez?
We just stated that we were gonna keep that on the agenda. The order from the district, I'm sorry, from the state is still in the emergency. We're still under the emergency order for pandemic, so we can still continue to have meetings on Zoom as needed. It hasn't changed, the status hasn't changed. So do we want to continue to have Zoom meetings is the question for the council.
So I guess we can go in a road and kind of get everybody's opinion on it. I'll go how I'm seeing here on my phone. So Ms. Fern, what do you think?
For me, Zoom is so much better. It's so much easier just for, I'm very, very busy right now. So the Zoom meeting is a godsend. Having in person, there have been times where I might have had to miss a meeting due to just conflicting things. So for me, I would prefer Zoom.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Ortiz?
Yeah, I prefer Zoom.
Jim, okay. Ms. Morehouse?
She's typing.
Oh, okay.
She said virtual for now. And by the way, I will not be in attendance next month.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Mr. Daly?
I agree that the flexibility Zoom affords us is hard to get rid of. And I think while the pandemic ruling is in place, it's appropriate to maintain. Yeah, I think at some point it would be nice to get together in person. I think selfishly for me, not having a child at the school, you know, I'm a community rep, so it'd be good for me to spend more time in the physical building, but you know, that's a me problem I can do on the side. So I think Zoom until we were required to change.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Snyder?
También, same thing. Everyone
Same
said.
thing. Thank you. Ms. Darling?
Yes, I agree with Zoom.
With Zoom, okay. Myself, oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Perez, you first.
I'm okay with Zoom or either. I'm here at the school anyway, but yeah, Zoom works for me.
Okay, and for me as well, Zoom's been working fine for me. Okay, all right, so it looks like everybody's in agreement with keeping meetings in Zoom for the time being. At some point, we can maybe do a meeting before the end of the school year, just so kind of we can all meet. So we'll go ahead and continue the meetings via Zoom. All right, does anybody have any questions in regards of it? If no questions, I'll go ahead and move forward. Nope, okay. All righty, so we'll go to old business, which is the letter to CPS finalized.
Yeah, the letter was finalized. I had sent it out for digital signatures. I didn't receive everybody's, but I still sent it anyway. So I just wanted everybody to know that it was sent, okay?
Has there been any sort of immediate reaction to the letter that we know about?
Not immediate. I know it was received.
Okay.
I got that much.
The email was open, so somebody saw it.
So I know that.
Can we maybe send a letter again?
Every single day until.
I mean, yeah.
I did send it via email. What I'm gonna do, you're right. I'll send it in the mail so that it's a physical letter too, so that it doesn't go away.
Yeah, I said let's keep sending it until we get a response. And then kind of put like on the header, second letter,
Final
second
notice.
letter, yeah, it's something. So then they know the number of times that we keep sending the same letter. Okay, so we'll move forward to, I'm sorry, any questions on the letter to CPS?
No
Nope.
question on the letter, I guess, in terms of old business, and I'm just curious if there's been any sort of recent issues impacting staff, teachers. We talked a couple meetings ago about some disciplinary challenges that you were all facing, and I apologize, maybe part of it is I wasn't at the last meeting, but just wondering if that's quieted down or.
So things have tapered down only because we hired two new paraprofessionals to work.
Yeah.
One with our most problematic students, and then we have one right now still pending.
Okay.
That's working essentially with 2 students. So that has really helped out because we were awarded those positions. So that has helped out a lot.
So there haven't been any further issues, or
Not with the
not at that level.
correct. Not at the 5 and 6 level, which is what we call it at school. Yes.
Okay. That was all I had.
Okay, thank you so much. Any other questions? Nope. Okay, we'll go ahead and move forward to public participation. Please go ahead and use your raise hand feature if you are in the public participation. Mr. Perez, I don't know how I don't know how to see that. Ms. Brown? Okay. Ms. Brown?
Yes, I just had a question regarding the notification for, it's a question. Are you guys still sending the links out for the meetings 48 hours in advance, or is it the day of? Because I didn't receive the link until this morning. So are you guys still sending it out 48 hours in advance, or is it being sent out the day of?
I think it's
And the question for Mr.
I went to
Perez.
it from the website because it's on the Yates website. Like it's
Okay.
the same link.
So the agenda is posted 48 hours beforehand, and the link is sent out whenever it's sent out.
Okay, so the link is not supposed to be sent out 48 hours in advance?
It doesn't have to be, no. The agenda has to be posted 48 hours beforehand.
Okay, and where can we always find the agenda? Because I know it's used, sometimes it's in different places.
The
So
agenda,
where,
go ahead, Mr. Ortiz, do you want to answer that?
I always put it in the front door and it was there 3 days ago.
okay,
So,
I didn't see it, but okay. Okay,
yeah, it's there.
thank you. So the agenda, just to be clear, is always posted on the front door?
The front door and on the Francisco side also.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ortiz.
Okay. Was that all, Ms. Brown? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay, we'll go ahead and move forward. Is there anyone else in public participation?
There's nobody with their hand up and there are no comments in the chat.
So no, okay, let me go back to the agenda. Okay, so if there is no one else in the public participation, then we'll go ahead and move forward to announcements. I know that we have, is it science? I just got a call too. Science night tomorrow from 4:15 to 5:30. I did get a lovely student that called me. I don't know who that was, but that was the cutest thing ever. I was at work and I heard a little student call me, inviting me to this science night fair tomorrow. So I know that's going on tomorrow. PAC meeting is February 15 at 9:30. Our next LSC meeting, it's February, right? February, let me go back to my calendar. The 22nd, if I'm not wrong, at 5 o'clock or 5:15?
I have it on the calendar for 5 o'clock. It was just this time, it was February 5:15, because the teachers had a flex PD beforehand.
Yes, and that was it. Okay, so PAC meeting is February the 15th at 9:30 a.m. LSC meeting is the 22nd of February at 5 p.m. Science night, it's tomorrow from 4:15 to 5:15. What else?
I think that's it.
That's it, okay. Okay. Alrighty, if that's, if there's nothing else that's going on, is SCS having anything? No?
We have our SCS leadership meeting, but those are always, that's gonna be on the 22nd, I'm sorry, the 15th as well, February, but we will send out communication for that.
Okay.
It's at 5
Alrighty,
o'clock on the 15th.
okay. Can you kind of like tell Ms. Samudi to send me an invitation for it? I would like to join that.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Alrighty, thank you. All right, so since there's no more announcements, we already set the meeting for next meeting date and time. So anybody want to go home motion to adjourn?
A motion
Or
to
I'll-
adjourn.
Okay.
Second.
Alrighty, so Ms. Snyder motion to adjourn the meeting at 6:06 PM. I'll go ahead and second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Alrighty, so it looks like we're adjourning the meeting at 6:06. Thank you so much to everyone that
Thank
attended,
you.
and we will
Thank
see you next meeting.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.